Oh shit, ladies and gentlemen, how you doing out there? This is Intergalactic Interviews, and this is episode 173. What the fuck? Who could believe that we would be this far? 173 is an amazing time. It's an amazing era to capture. And who better to capture with than our good friend C-Mart on the boards, as always. I faked you out. C-Mart switched to day. That's so funny. And then in addition to our good friend on the board, C-Mart, our guest this evening, special guest, he is a writer, a performer, an amazing vocalist, a fellow member of the Holy Sock Gang, just repping all types of affiliations. We love this guy. Ladies and gentlemen, please give it up for Desmond Pack, a.k.a. Day Day. How you doing, brother?
I'm doing good, man. I'm actually doing fantastic right now.
Are you?
I'm super excited to be a part of the show, and I've been thinking about you. We've talked about it before, and I'm excited to finally be here, man.
I'm happy you're here because there's a tremendous amount of shit I want to talk to you about.
Cool.
Right off the bat.
Yeah.
When we very first met, we met in like a group setting, obviously.
Mm-hmm.
But at that point, we were still not really very acquainted with each other.
True.
It was we had a lot of mutual friends, essentially.
Exactly.
And then I was hosting one of our Versus shows that we do in music, which for anyone listening doesn't know what I'm talking about, essentially is like a battle of the bands,
That's
so to speak.
exactly what
but
it is.
It's so like fam based, like everyone is like, it doesn't.
It's beautiful.
Yeah, winning and losing
beautiful.
isn't really the point of the fucking thing. It's more about like gathering and just,
That's exactly
it's
what
fun. It's just fun. But I was like full on referee outfit doing like Michael Buffer, Bruce Buffer. Yeah, just crazy, dude. Like just what
You did a fantastic job. Like nobody could have done what you did.
No, I did
so good.
I did a job, but one of my favorite parts was like at the last second, Mizzy comes up to me and during the show and he's like, "Yo, bro, would you be cool with like DJing for Day Day?" And I was like, "Yeah, of course, cool." But like, man, just walking into a scenario like I knew some of your records from seeing you perform and doing shows with you before, but never have ever hopped up on there with you.
I appreciate it.
When I was up there, I saw a different perspective. Obviously, when you're up behind the boards and you're spinning, it was a different vibe entirely. And by that I mean this: as a listener in a venue, I've always enjoyed watching you because I always feel like you're a very excellent performer. You connect very well with the fans. Any listener out there that's listening to us right now would do themselves a disservice to not listen or watch Day Day at any point in their lives. There are so many ways you can enjoy a live show, and I'm saying like you have it, man. Like people fucking
I appreciate that.
People
so much,
really connect with you, and I really like that. Now, in addition to this, what I want to really, because I'm setting the stage here,
you set it up. I'm on it.
the perspective I gained that day was that you have a very unique crowd presence. Like your stage presence is very commanding, and that is a rarity because that doesn't happen all the time. That a lot of the times you'll see people have like strong writing or strong performance or some of these things, and then stage presence is lacking, but like the songs are good, but it just it never goes over that hump. It never really gets to that next spot. And by that, what I'm saying is this: your performance that night that I was behind the boards, I was like, dude, there is something very special here. This is really rad. I'm really glad to be proud of it. And I think I messaged you like after.
You did.
And I was like, yo, just so you know, I was like, I saw something tonight that was pretty fucking sweet. And yeah, dude, I just remember sustained applause throughout the night, man. That was rad. It was really dope. Well, it's good times.
It's good to have the support, like friends, family, man. It's been an amazing year, and it couldn't have all been done without my friends, family, the gang of everybody working together. It's been amazing, man.
You have this incredible gift of being able to just like, dude, you blend in so well with everything. Tell me what first brought you into the music. What was your first experience with me too, I could do this?
I like that. I appreciate that.
What do you think about
that? I'd say it was probably when I lived in California when I was a lot younger. And it was just me, my mom, my brother. And she was going to school. My brother was going to school. So we always crossed paths every once in a while. We went to school close to the house. And there was always 2 floors of different music. On the base floor, it would be my mom playing her music. And she always played like Motown, like Al Green, Teddy Pendergrass, Smokey Robinson. And that is what I grew up on and I fell in love with. And then you go up to the 2nd floor and my brother's up there bumping his hip hop and R&B. So he had like Naughty by Nature going. You know, Snoop back then was hot. Obviously Tupac, Biggie, that was around that time, but I didn't really start listening until Naughty like hit me. I feel like around, you know, like that was the kind of flow.
So you're a Naughty by Nature dude?
Yeah, well, I feel like flow wise,
are you a Tretch dude?
Oof, I would say so.
I'm a Tretch dude.
Yeah.
That's why.
Oh, for sure. Yeah. It was the vibe. It was the feeling. I feel like that Naughty by Nature feeling molded so well with LA and just rolling around the streets, listening to music, both genres at the time.
Yeah.
Were you born in the States?
I know. I was born here.
Oh, okay.
My mom took me and my brother out when I was about 4. Moved to LA. She was doing like fashion design. She was going to school out there. And yeah, man. And then I just fell in love with it out there.
That's fucking sick.
Yeah, man. It was
I like
amazing.
that, dude. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, man.
Yo, you know Pin the Tail on the Donkey by Naughty by Nature?
Yeah.
You know that part when it's like, Jack, Jack, Willy, Willy, wreck, wreck.
Yeah.
That's it. There's no question.
That's the one.
By the way, there's no question
man.
I'm giving. That was, I just,
I appreciate I love it,
like,
man. I was literally listening to them right before I pulled up.
Oh,
and,
really?
like, met you guys.
Yo, that's why.
100%.
We're on the same frequency.
Hip Hop Hooray.
This felt like Chris Farley when he's like, hey, do you remember when you made that movie? You're like, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, that was cool. Like, there's no question behind it. I'm just like, do you remember this song?
But man,
like,
that's
yeah.
just
I'm like,
fans loving
right.
music.
Yeah,
you know?
exactly. Yeah.
And then that's when the conversation happens and evolving happens.
That's dope. So you find yourself in this like somewhat of a like a duplex of music.
Yeah, absolutely.
Right?
Great way to explain.
Like a vertical duplex.
Yeah, that's exactly what it was.
So this is like vertical duplex of music you're existing in. And in that you're growing up, you're in California.
Yeah.
So what point were you like, okay, I'm going north? How did that come about?
All my I'm actually half First Nations Aboriginal. So my entire family lived on the reserve over here, just by Lionsgate Bridge, Capilano Reserve.
Oh, yeah.
That's where my mom grew up. We have a big family out there. So as soon as my mom graduated fashion design school, she wanted to base her company out of Vancouver. She wanted to move back home. Where she was learning was like high fashion.
Okay.
And so she wanted to integrate, the First Nations designs, cultures, everything that had to do with it into high fashion.
Right.
And brought us back home. And then that's where I found myself finding different genres of music and different feelings. It was really crazy.
Okay. So that's interesting how fashion has played a parallel alongside
100%.
your music. Yeah. Because you're a sharp looking fella.
I try on occasion.
Do you find yourself like the effort you put into it? Do you actually find putting conscious effort into the fashion choices? 'Cause some people it's very natural, you just kind of throw it together. But are you like?
I'd say so. When it comes to like being updated with fashion, I don't keep up. Like I don't read magazines and things like that. I just see what's trending kind of thing, and I just roll with that. I feel like you get like a collection of clothes. Yeah. And then you mix and match them, and then every outfit could be different.
Like this camouflage piece you're wearing right now. This was like, you're like, I just watched State Property. Beanie Siegel is killing it, right?
Always killing it. Always killing it.
That's right. Okay. So
are you judgy of people?
Yeah, that's
outfits.
No, like not. I wouldn't judgy in like a negative sense, but like do you see things and you're like, I don't know if that's
to an extent. I know, but I mean, I feel like fashion is always changing, man, so fast and so consistently. You don't even know this person that's wearing like something that looks ridiculous. You're like, well, like, what are you doing? And then you see it on TV next week, and you're like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
So I'm behind. I'm the idiot.
Like, do you remember when like the video for Mercy dropped?
Ooh.
And all the dudes from Good Music were wearing like skirts basically. Man. Yeah. And I was like, all right, I mean, I guess. Like, but I was like,
can you imagine?
Yeah.
Can you imagine if like, tomorrow you woke up and you're like, okay, so guys fashion now, no longer pants, skirts are in. You're like, don't think I would be
like it's a hard sell, man.
I would be.
Who considered it? What do you guys consider putting on a skirt?
I was like, yeah, I was sitting there thinking like, all right, I'm trying to picture going out and like, and just like, yo, what skirt am I gonna wear? Like,
no,
come on,
for
like,
sure. MD is like, he's got like, he's got a page on Amazon up about to buy the skirt. He's like, should I get it?
Yeah.
And Liz is like, no, do not get the skirt.
It's too early.
Like,
you haven't been working the legs enough in the gym.
Yeah, exactly. And in that scenario, I also am like, I definitely shouldn't have enabled one touch buying.
One click too many is like a little too.
Just boom, one click purchasing.
Yeah. Then you wake up the next day like, I can't believe I just bought 10 skirts. Like,
I'm like, all right, but my summer set. That's cool.
it works.
It was a weird time, but like, okay, within fashion though.
Yeah, man.
A lot of this trends and a lot of the styles that come out of it are often like pioneered by artists and things like that. Who's an artist that you look to? You're like, oh, this person has an amazing style, like male or female, anything.
I'd say when I was growing up, it's probably like Pharrell.
Right.
He was doing things you didn't see hip hop artists were doing. People were out there. You got your Lil Waynes. They had the baggy white tees and the big shorts and things like that. And Pharrell came out with his fucking polo shirt, you know,
Pharrell's one of the most
pinked
stylish
out,
motherfuckers
straight
ever.
up, 100%. Now he's been doing some suspect things, but I mean, he's Pharrell. He can do whatever the fuck he wants to do.
He still looks like he did when Frontin' came out.
Oh, he looks exactly the same.
He looks exactly the same.
Where is his fountain of youth? The guy looks unbelievable.
Very young.
I think he might be just siphoning Chad Hugo's life source, like just.
Yeah, that
nourish me.
Adds up. He looked old in Lap Dance was one of the big first videos.
Dude,
and he had the goatee, and then he cut it off, and he hasn't changed.
That's
since.
right. In NERD, I think he actually killed that version of him.
And
now
he's dead.
Yeah,
the nerd.
That's
version.
right.
What is that?
Man.
The one I have to say, like, I love the. Like
Which
all
one?
the girls waiting in the line for the bathroom is
yeah.
one of the most absurd.
It's called like Hotlines or something, isn't it?
I think it's called that.
For the line in the bathroom.
I'm just saying, like, what an absurd chorus.
It's amazing
like,
though.
Have you heard bath salts?
I have not.
Bath salts with the speakers in your face.
It's a tight track, but he's talking about bath salts.
And it's like lemon, and then he goes through the verse for Rihanna, and then she spits it. And it's amazing.
It is.
I get it how I live. Fucking so good.
I love the one stat. The Neptunes, like, who Pharrell is a part of. Like, I didn't realize, and the numbers are definitely wrong, but I didn't realize how much he has impacted pop music and modern music in general. Like,
huge.
At one point, I believe it was like 30% of all songs on the radio were written by the Neptunes.
Yeah.
Like some absurd number. That's ridiculous.
They had a massive time.
That period of time. So like the very first record he ever placed with the Neptunes producing is actually, now this plays back to like, as a producer, being like, what drew me to certain songs as a youth? Like, what was I into? And then realizing later on, after like certain information was released, you're like, oh, like that makes total sense.
Yeah.
The common thread is that I just actually really like the producers.
Exactly.
And then I was like, because why do I like some of these albums and some of these are not really popular? Yeah, why?
Too.
Turns out, Looking at Me by Mace.
Yeah.
So that is a Neptune's beat.
Yeah, it is.
And it's their very first placement. Now that was like my fucking cut. My favorite, maybe my first, second favorite cut. I don't know, on Mace's Harlem World. Love that record. And then that era is so bad boy. Though like the 97 era is all bad. It's all track masters. It's all like D. Angeletti. It's all these production teams that are just like, bow, everything that came up, that market share you just quoted for Billboard charts for the Neptunes, that was that group before that.
And exploding.
And then into 2000, you see like, woof, like this huge rush of Neptunes. Like for a while there, from like 2000 to about, I don't know, like 2008 maybe, it was on. Like
they were
everywhere. And again, fashion-wise, everything going to that, like Billionaire Boys Club. There's so many, ice creams. Like there's so many points there where it was just like, whoa, these guys are really artistically unpacking things, right? I could see why you appreciate that.
Oh yeah, he was he was doing crazy things, right? And then people were like scared to do it. And then if you could pull it off, you were up there with him. You know, you felt dope because like everyone was scared to do what he was doing.
Because Kanye started wearing polos and stuff.
Oh yeah,
that's right. And a lot of people attribute that to like Cameron. But even that was like he was still wearing big
baggy polos,
rugbies,
you know.
Yeah, but we're talking like little like
fitted
Lacoste.
Yeah,
like it was kind of like, dude, you wearing a Lacoste? Like that's an alligator crocodile on your shirt.
Straight up, yeah, true.
Yeah, no, that was dope. Well, okay, so you kind of become enamored with music in a way.
Absolutely.
When do you start putting pen to paper? When are you like? Have you ever done that? You're a young fella. Have you ever...
I still write quite often. I did that probably like grade 8. I feel like it was grade 8. I started actually deciding to write just because like my cousins and stuff were doing it. Like I said, we lived on the reserve at this time, and I was just around all my cousins, and I was the youngest of them all. So obviously they made me do all the stupid shit. But
I wonder if we might know some of the same people.
Oh, I'm sure we do.
Because I was producing this dude out your way for a little while there, and I cut my teeth in North Van basically. Like when I first moved to Vancouver, I would go to North Van for the weekend and just fucking rap all weekend and produce, and then I'd come back home after like 3 days smelling like Jack Daniels.
Allegedly.
That's when you fell in love with the Jack,
and other skirts
that weren't your own.
Yeah, but like the whole time out there, you run into so much talent. So you're side by side with all this talent, and you were like, I'm going to do this myself.
Well, we were all more so just doing it for fun. Like they were like, oh, we heard people doing it, and we had one cousin that was like, he was pretty decent at it. And me, as soon as I started doing it, I really wanted to do it. And these guys were more so doing it for fun. And me, I wanted to do it for fun, but only because I loved it so much.
Yeah.
So I just kept doing it by myself and always looking for someone to do it with.
Yeah.
But it was always just me, you know. And then one day recently, I had the opportunity to do a show, and I hadn't done music for like 2 years beforehand. And I was like, I don't even know if I can do this anymore.
Really?
This was like maybe 2 years ago now. And I hadn't done it. And someone was like, hey, you want to do a show? And I was like, I don't know. Like, give me a day. Let me give you an answer back.
Give me a day.
Give me a day. Give me a day.
Had you been like doing music in general?
I had before that. It was high school. Then I had time off. I went to school to do culinary arts. And then
I like this.
Yeah, I started cooking for a long time. And then
C-Mart told me he made mayo this weekend. I was like, what do you
mean?
mean?
The first time. I hate
making mayo, man.
Really?
I hate it.
You guys are crazy. I've never.
Yeah.
Mayo from scratch, man.
So anyway, this is.
I didn't
finish your point.
Nightmares.
Yeah, please finish your point. Yeah, I just made want to point that out. I just thought it was silly. That's okay.
I don't even remember where I was.
Sorry. I'm sorry.
That's okay. It's my job. Check it out. You were in culinary school.
That much I did remember. I didn't know where we were at before that.
Okay, you were rapping. Okay. Someone asked to do the show.
Okay, yep, that's exactly what was happening. So yeah, I was cooking at that time, and I was focusing on like a backup plan, you know, career wise. Like I like to dance, I like to do music and art, and so that was all taking a backseat to cooking. And then I had this opportunity. I said, give me a day, and in my head I was like, let me try and write a song. And see if I even can do this anymore, you know? Okay. So I sat down, I pulled up a beat, and I wrote a song in like 8 hours. Like I sat there, maybe even less. And I fell in love with it like instantly again, because I was like, I didn't even know I could do this. And I sat there and it just came back.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And then I was like, I messaged her right back, like, yeah, I'll do the show. The show was maybe about a month out. I wrote 2 more songs.
How old were you when this happened?
This was 2 years ago, so I was about like 24, 25.
Okay.
Yeah.
Dude, because I remember myself when I started writing when I was 11.
Yeah.
And like I was like battling and sneaking into bars and stuff when I was like 14.
Wow.
Yeah, because I was tall, so I was able to like get away with it. Yeah. But yo, I remember feeling, and I don't know if this is reflective of just being a youth at the time, but I remember feeling like it was like a superpower.
Oh yeah.
Like it was like this hidden thing, because like it's like I have this thing about me that you may not be able to, like, I don't know, you may not know this, but I do this, like, kind of thing, right? And then, you know, as you go along and meet other people, you're like, oh cool, you do this too, right?
Man.
Yeah.
It's the best, man.
Did that relate? Like,
absolutely. I was we were a sports family. growing up in LA, even coming home, we literally played everything. Basketball was the main one. We played football, lacrosse, soccer, everything. And then we came home. I fell in love with music, and I decided to do that. And like, I was always known as being a sports guy. I did art on the side. I like to draw and things like that. And I was more known for that. And then when I found out I could do like rapping, I sang all day. That's what I wanted to be first. I want to be an R&B singer.
You're a great singer.
Oh,
you're a great singer.
I appreciate it. I feel like I still got some work to do, some time to come when it comes to voice files.
That's a great attitude. That's what I like working with too.
That's what I mean. I feel like there's so much evolving that can be done.
Yeah.
And I'm brand new to this, man. Like, this is the first year I've actually come out and started doing music, and it's been unbelievable. Being a part of the Holy Sock Gang with you and the rest of the guys, it's been inspirational.
It's been a major, absolute pleasure. Honestly, it's been so cool seeing it grow so organically.
Oh yeah, man!
Very quickly, like very quickly.
Yeah,
which is really nice because sometimes the slow burn has its benefits, but like, man, when you see it really impacting right away, you're like, okay, this is kind of cool. I think we should keep doing this. You know,
100%.
I think we have a single coming out, don't we?
Yeah, we do. I'm literally
allegedly
working it. Allegedly, right this second.
That's what it's called.
It's called allegedly.
Allegedly.
Keep your eyes and ears open, ladies and gentlemen.
No, it is called. Actually, well, I don't even know the working title right now. I think it was like
Light It Up.
Light It Up.
Light It Up.
Light It Up.
I was listening to it earlier today.
Oh, yo, really?
I was.
So that's funny. So side story, because in the future, I don't know how this will be perceived, but that showcase we did that night, I was like, oh, yo, this is something, I don't know. I can hear this though, right? And we started working flows that night and we were doing this. I'm like, okay, now this arrangement, boom, 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 just like basically in the air, like arranging it. And then I went to go bounce the multi-tracks for that the other day because Mizzy hit me up and was like, yo, let's do this. So I go to bounce it, and the VST that I used to do one of those sounds, one of the instruments in it. So anyone who's listening, a VST is essentially like a instrument program. So there's like there's like thousands of them, but like this one in particular, I was like, I'm on my new rig. It's not on the new rig. So I was like, oh, I'll go find it. Can't find my installation file for it anywhere. So I was like, okay, fuck it. I was going to bite the bullet. I call the creator of the program.
Oh, really?
I reach out and I was like, I need this. I was like, I don't have the installation file, and it says on your website it's discontinued. So I need this for a session right now. And the guy's like, okay, what do you need for PC, Mac? I was like, PC, let's go. And he's like, hasn't got back to me. So I'm really fucking worried because like I don't want to go like in the depths of torrents and black hat shit. Like I want to like to go dark web on this fucking guy. Like I want to support the creator, honestly. But like in a way, I already have. I buy everything. So I want to know, like, give me the goddamn program.
I got work to do.
Yeah. So I'm in a weird spot.
Not much time either.
Right. Because you're like, let's go do this. I'm like, all right, just give me a
couple
or something like that. So yeah, we're in weird hiatus right now. But by the time it comes out, this will be a funny.
I'm excited, and it's turning out really good.
It's really good. I really like it because it's so fucking West Coast.
Oh yeah,
just dripping. Dripping. I love it.
We all need to sit down, I feel like, and maybe even brainstorm a little bit more and finalize some things. And I feel like we can get that going. That's
a good time to little segue into this, because as I may have mentioned at the end of the last episode, I'll probably have some more time coming up, actually.
Allegedly.
Yeah, so like,
if you're used to the word,
right? Like if you're listening to this and you don't know what I'm referencing, at the end of last week's episode, I kind of just, I may have just indicated that like the podcast may be winding down soon, and that's
the bomb.
Yeah, like
just drop the bomb.
Okay, so to put it, because I got weird last week about it, and then it's funny because in the end of the episode, like at the end of it, C-Mart's like, he's like, you're gonna want to delete this. I know it already. And I was like, no, I won't. Like an hour later at the bar, I was like, I think I should probably delete that. It's like, I just want it to be controlled in a way. I don't want it to come out that like, hey, I'm like mad or there's something wrong. It's like, everyone's
You're a tyrant.
cool.
You're a fucking tyrant.
I'm a total asshole to work with. Yeah, like I just,
he wants more time, and it's like we don't want to give him that. We want more intergalactic.
I want the narrative to be correct. I want it to be perceived. It's that I've been doing this for a while, and I'm ready for a new challenge. I have a new show idea, so we're not falling off the map. C-Mart and I are going to keep working together on stuff. It's going to be fun. It's rad. It's really good.
Yeah.
And in the meantime, we're going to be sitting on, you know, a number of episodes of just like amazing archival, dope shit. Like this in the future, we look back and we go, man, how fucking fun was that? That was cool. That was right before blank.
Yeah.
You know, I like that. I like the way that feels already. So I don't know. I'm excited. It's not a sad thing. If you're out there and you feel
It's evolving.
a way about it, you know, message me. Let me know. Message us. And like, I feel good about it though. And you guys should be excited because the new stuff's going to be, you know, I think it's going to be even better. Actually, I love what we're doing right now.
Oh, and we're all going to be tuned in, buddy. We're all going to be tuned in.
I'm stoked. That felt way better, C-Mart. That's the way I wanted
That's
to come
the
off.
one.
Yeah.
That's the one.
I wanted to come off like that.
Well, I can't wait for you. So I'm just going to give you a timestamp here, 30:56. So if you want to delete this, then
like I'll want to delete this in an hour. Like in an hour, I'll be like, fuck, I shouldn't have said that. Yeah.
I'm glad to be part of that episode.
Dude, and that's another thing too. I wanted
deleted episode.
Dude, I wanted you to be a part of this before the series ended because it's important that we capture this stuff.
I agree with that.
It's really important, man, because the infrastructure of our scene is it's loosely supported. It's there are some great blogs, some great photographers, some great podcasts out there, and it's important that like we support the head, which is the art itself, but like who's the body? Who's supporting that head, man? You got to like be able to, you know, get up there. And I'm proud of, you know, put in some work for that because it has to be done, man. Like, you know, we've done 173 episodes, you know, 2 of them quite good.
yeah, Colbert.
Yeah. No, that was Conan.
Oh, is it Conan? Oh, okay.
I love Conan. That was a great joke. He's fucking good at that. But yeah, like you know, the whole scope of the show though is just to make sure people are aware of dope talent like yourself.
I appreciate that, man.
You're dope, man.
It's a big step for me. I feel like, you know, moving forward.
Yeah.
Not too many people get like visuals of what I love to do and what I like to do, and I appreciate you having me on here so people get an opportunity to do so. Right.
I want people to be able to recognize in you what I see in you.
I appreciate
because I just see immense talent, dope writing.
Thank you, man.
Crazy stage presence. That's what I'm talking about. That's what I want to see all the goddamn
You will, man.
time.
We got 2 coming up too.
That's right.
Yeah.
So you want to talk about that? You want to plug that real quick?
Well, just quick shout out. Yeah, man. Me and Uji are actually going to be doing 2 back-to-back night sets together.
I love Uj. Uj, your own adventure.
Man,
love it.
The guy is just unbelievable. This guy is the brain on this man is just incredible.
I love Uj. I love Uj because he's so is like to the fucking detail.
Yeah,
everything
he is.
Just, like I was talking to him on the phone during the ciphers that we were filming recently, which I don't know if they'll be out by the time this comes out, but but we did this like bunch of ciphers all in one night, and I'm in studio and I'm waiting for the call because I know there's going to be a revision call like last minute, so I'm like waiting for the call. Uj calls me and it was just like this really tense call, and I was like, so what you need is this version with this timestamp. He's like, I hope so. And I was like, Uj, it's fine, man.
I'm ready.
We're good, ready. Bro. Yeah. I love that guy so much, man.
He's a different gentleman.
He's got a big heart. I like
huge, man.
I love Uj. His new release, by the way, Thank God for Death, is absolutely amazing. You actually feature on that record.
Yeah, I got a couple of vocal shout outs on there, and it was a pleasure working with this guy, man. He's unbelievable mind.
You did dope. The listening party was off the hook. Dude.
It was amazing.
So fucking nice.
Yeah, whoever got to a chance to be there, like they got a show.
It felt historic, actually.
Yeah,
it felt really nice. It was dope.
It was really sick.
I'm glad that you got some writing on there and then got to perform. Man. That's really cool.
He's gonna be. He actually. I'm looking to get him on a part of my project that I'm working on.
Really?
I'm working on my album right now. I have no real details of when it's going to come out, when it's going to be released. Obviously, there's so many things up in the air right now, but
I have something for you.
What you got?
Do you want to talk about it right now?
Talk about what?
Do you want to talk about it right now?
So,
or should we take it off here? Do you want to talk about it right now?
Ooh,
Jesus, this is heavy.
Ooh.
Okay, I have something for you.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay, so I have a piano piece that I wrote, and I would like to co-write the remainder of it with you.
Yeah, I'm 100% in.
I think vocally, as a singer, you're what the song needs.
I appreciate that.
That's my heart. I mean that.
I'm taking it.
Dude, okay. So that's what I'm saying. Like, I do have that. for you.
I'm in, man.
That's in the wings. I was gonna like just shop it one off to you or whatever, but like,
we're doing it now.
I would love to see it make the album if it resonates with you that way.
Yeah, man. I'm with that. I'm always open to new things, and that's what this is all about. That's what Holy Sock Gang's about.
You gotta know that I'm always gonna shop a placement to you. I'm always gonna
100%.
I'm always gonna be like, listen.
Are you working right now, MD?
Yeah, I'm just let me adjust this fucking tie.
and I'm sold. I'm on board.
It's
100%.
Yeah, you gotta know I'm gonna work the placement.
Yeah,
listen,
and I already know you got something cooking in your mind.
Dude,
it's just constantly moving.
It's done in my head.
Yeah,
as soon as you signed off on it.
Yeah. So I'll get a pen. I'll get a pen.
Yeah, exactly.
Just hand it over. Verbal contract.
We'll work it out.
Yeah,
it's
Jersey
recorded.
handshake.
It's recorded.
Yeah, it's already
It's
recorded. I just need
already.
your name. Just give me.
Yeah, exactly.
Signed off.
That's right. I think that's cool though. How far along are you in your project?
I'd say I'm about songs that are like legitimately maybe not recorded but like done. I'd say I probably have about 3 or 4 tracks.
Do you have a song title you can tell us right now that you feel resonates with you?
No.
Do you have any titles right now at all?
Nothing.
Okay.
I actually might be releasing something very soon, but I just need to record it. So I don't have an exact name for it yet, because if I did say it, it might be too obvious.
You know, this podcast is magical in that if you talk about it,
yeah,
it makes you do it.
We're semi-talking about it. We're going in the direction.
I know.
Allegedly.
It makes you do it. You're like, oh, wait. I guess
now I got to. Now it's got to
like,
get done ASAP.
Day, don't worry. It's just the internet forever.
Yeah. Nothing ever really deletes, and I'm okay
exactly.
with that.
That's fine. There's no pressure. But it is out there forever. So
that's what I mean. If I talk about it too much, now if all of a sudden I put out a release date and it's
I'm
not
actually
even
pretty sure
recorded yet.
Pretty sure it's already done.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure. You got the link, right?
Yeah. I'll just like hook into that. So.
Yeah.
That's
Let's play it right now.
That's so fucking funny.
Can I ask the name Day Day? What's that about?
Oh, okay. That name I was given as a baby.
Oh.
It came from my uncle, and apparently I have this story wrong. I've lived with the story of how I got my nickname, and then
so this is the real corrected story.
Well, this is going to be the story that I grew up with.
Fair.
Okay,
but I'm going to say
tell us the one you grew up with. Yeah.
So I grew up with this story that when I was born, my dad came up with the name Desmond. And
it's a good strong name.
I was like, there's not too many people. He took the D off the end of the name and decided to become original. And so
Desmond.
Yeah, exactly. Desmond.
Yeah.
No D. And so my uncle
Just didn't finish it. Just
that's exactly. He's like, it's too long.
Yeah, so many letters.
Yeah. Jesus. And so he told it to my uncle, and my uncle had a bit of a speech impediment.
Okay.
And he couldn't say Desmond. And so
like a stutter? Or
it was like a stutter, and he just couldn't get it out.
Just get hung up on it, right?
Exactly. And so he came up with the name Day Day. And ever since that day, I've been called Day Day.
Damn, right from the jump.
Yeah, like straight up. Like
damn, okay.
Everybody on the reserve still
uncle,
calls
though?
me. What's that?
There's a close uncle that
had
enough influence.
I'd say so.
Yeah, totally. That's cool.
I told this story around my mom recently, and she looked at me and she was like, "That's not how you got your nickname." I was like, "Are you kidding me? I've been telling this story for 27 years." Yeah. And now you're telling me I've been lying to everybody.
That's funny. Okay, so what's the real story?
I honestly don't remember what she said. I know.
So that's it. That's the PR.
So
story.
you guys could cut that part out.
No, that's the clip.
Yeah, that's the one.
That's some falsehood.
Yeah, that's the clip this week.
So I'm gonna stick with that one. Later down the line, that's exactly
that.
how I got my nickname.
No, fair enough.
That's cool.
Sounds legit,
that's
despite
cool,
being
right?
untrue.
Yeah, exactly. It's factual.
Turns out he doesn't even have an uncle.
Yeah.
Doesn't have a name.
Don't fact check me. Don't fact check me.
Hilarious. That's so good. Dude, man, I fucking love laughing with you. Can I ask you, because you said you were a sports guy before you're a music guy. So because you're in LA, were you like Clippers or Lakers? Clippers.
My brother hated Kobe.
Yo, so you like rode through the fucking darkness.
Oh yeah, I was in LA while Kobe was just shitting on the Clippers.
What did that do for your?
Isn't Kobe Bryant one of the most like beloved players of all time?
Yeah, except in like one side of LA.
Yeah, the Clippers side of LA. But I was like in Lakers zone. And I don't know why. My brother just hated Kobe, and I was his little brother, and I just followed suit. I did what he did. I didn't like Kobe, but secretly I love Kobe just because he's just unbelievable.
Crazy badass.
Like, unbelievable. And honestly, the Clippers was the alternative, you know? It was like they were closest. So,
dude, but you went through some like tough eras.
Oh yeah, I had Odom jersey, and that was
God,
that was it. And that was as far as my Clipper.
They're like
experience
Lamar Odom. You're like, you mean the Kardashian? No, listen, this is pre
problems,
pre rings,
of
all kinds,
pre Kardashian, like.
pre wedding rings, pre championship rings. Okay?
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah, man.
Dude, that does a lot for a person's character.
Oh yeah.
People
100%.
say like, no, hear me out, C-Mart. People that, because I know he immediately scoffed at that. Too.
I just say it's funny.
Yeah, no, because like, hear me out. Okay, so when people are like, what is the point of sports?
Yeah,
I get that a lot because I'm like, man, it feels like we should be focusing on some real shit, right?
Yeah.
But then when you use it as escapism, it's fun to just watch whatever. But like, you have no real. You can't control what's happening. You really just ride or die with your emotions, right?
Exactly.
That's fine.
Exactly
but when you are a fan of a terrible franchise, any sport.
Yeah, man.
Any sport.
Objectively terrible or just emotionally?
Doesn't matter. Either way. And
okay.
it could be like short periods of time. It can be Clippers hell long periods of time, right?
It was depressing.
Yeah, you go through it. Now, I just want to say that does something to your character that over time that you may not know, but like your resiliency builds, your ability to fend off personal attacks because people will hit you with the heckles all the time. Like,
and you got the best player on the other end.
You're a Clippers fan? Pff,
you live in LA. What an idiot.
Yo, whack, so whack, man. How could you not be a Lakers fan, bro? 6 rings, bro.
Yeah.
Like, all that, right? Okay. All that aside, it's like when you are a fan of a bad team, your character grows. I was
huge.
I mean, I've had both sides because as a Habs fan, I am like, everyone's like, oh, you're like a Habs fan because they're a winner. It's like, bro, they've only won 2 cups since I've been alive, and I was 1-7.
Yeah.
So I don't think I have like a lot of memory.
No, not at all. I was a Anaheim fan.
Really?
Yeah.
So you were a fan,
Mighty
Ducks.
Really?
Oh yeah.
This
In
from the
LA,
movie?
the Mighty
When-
Ducks was
when
all of it.
Disney
like,
owned it.
Oh.
Yeah, it all came out, and this is when I was just getting into hockey. I lived in LA, like hockey wasn't. It was either football, basketball, baseball. You know, that's what we played all
real
day
sports.
out there. And then I watched hockey once in a while, and I was like, okay, that's cool. Like,
Do you remember
what's
what that
going on,
felt
man?
like when hockey arrived? What did that feel like?
Honestly, it just felt like another aspect of sports that I never knew was possible. Like I see something different, and then you move to Canada, and it's almost all people talk about, and it's just like, wow, this is crazy. Like these guys are skating on ice, pushing a hockey puck around. Like,
because I remember watching the news as a kid, and I remember when the Mighty Ducks popped up.
Yeah, man.
And I remember
Also the movie.
Yeah, well, that was why
Huge part of my life.
Yeah,
huge part.
Conway. Here we go. The whole. By the way, side shout out to Alex Sparling, who's like the biggest fucking Mighty Ducks fan I know out there.
Such an unfortunate viewpoint.
Hilarious. Yeah, me, him, and Kwesi watched all of D3 like a year or two ago, and I was like,
D2 is my favorite.
Yeah, right. It's so good. Like,
favorite.
I remember watching news reports when Anaheim had launched their franchise, and it was all like outside demos. They would have like semi trailers with like nets on the side of them and be like, oh, come out and play, learn how to shoot a puck. Like, how do you teach the people, right? Like, how to do it. And they're kind of doing the same thing in Vegas right now. But like, I remember watching that and being like, yo, how do you not know how to shoot a puck? And then being like, dude, I didn't get, like, it's just culturally
Oh,
like,
100%.
out of the water.
It wasn't going on at that point. You know, there's only select few people that came to LA to watch hockey. Like, you're down there, like, what are you going to watch? Well, I'm going to the pond. We got
I'm going to
plenty of other sports with multiple teams.
I'm going to the Honda Center. Like, really.
Baseball was huge then.
It's one of the most insane sports in terms of, like, impracticality, right? Like, football, you're like, yeah, you could get on a field of motherfuckers and, like, play a game.
Yeah, and throw a
like,
ball around.
Yeah, you could, like, get
just
and, like, play some soccer. You could, like...
You don't need to be dirty. I mean,
I'm just saying, you can play some baseball.
Super true.
Why
But, like,
swear?
hockey, like, you need ice. You gotta have
One.
sticks. You gotta have the fucking puck.
Why,
You gotta have
why you
like.
gotta be so dirty?
I'm just saying, like,
why don't you
it's
just
a
say
lot of effort
Oh,
to
100%.
do whatever that is.
Oh, man.
That's my new favorite thing, by the way, is like swearing consistently, and then the first time someone else swears, just being like, Jesus, why you gotta?
Yeah, what the?
We gotta bring it
My
down to that
ears.
level.
Yeah, I'm like, come on, clean it up a bit. That's a Norm Macdonald.
That's why I don't
thing
even
he
register it.
does. That's so funny. I love it when he does that. He's like, come on, geez, you know,
God.
you gotta pick it up a bit, right?
How'd you know my album?
Dude, you're right though. There is a weird impracticality to it. Like I could never play hockey growing up because I just couldn't afford it.
That's exactly why I didn't play. Like I played roller hockey. I got rollerblades,
Roller
and I
hockey's
had
fun.
Oh, dude,
friends
you
who
like
played.
knuckle puck, dude?
Oh yeah, that was my shit. Like I remember being in LA right before we moved back. We had a big basketball court, and I just watched Mighty Ducks.
Yeah,
nice.
And like I made my mom get me like a puck, and it was those pucks that had like balls in them. Like it had like 3 or 4 balls in them, so you could hit them across the concrete. And I was out there.
Not
But,
even like
like-
a red, not the orange ball, like
Yeah.
proper road hockey. That's a
Yeah.
specific puck.
It
yeah.
was.
Wasn't
and-
that what's his name from SNL? Who was the knuckle puck? Dude?
Yeah, it
was
was.
right.
It's knuckle puck time. And he'd click it up and then
So good.
and oh man.
Go out there, score a goal, go like some water, do it again.
Yeah.
I'm like, damn,
It was so good, man.
y'all forgot how to play.
And that's when I started liking hockey. And then I came here and I was like, yeah, I can't afford it, but it's on TV.
Dude, it's wild.
Fair enough.
It's so wild.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
like, I feel it's like so out of reach for so
Yeah.
many
Oh,
people.
yeah,
Like
but
right
then-
from the beginning.
I feel like lacrosse was the next.
It's another one.
Oh yeah, well because my whole family played it.
Oh, really?
My entire family, and they're amazing. My brother is just unbelievable lacrosse player.
That's
It's an
an
originally.
aggressive sport.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
Isn't it originally a First Nation sport?
Yeah, they used to play it for days. Like one game, it was like instead of wars, they'd play lacrosse, and there would be like hundreds of people playing one game on a big field, and it would last for like days.
What?
Yeah,
Days?
days, man. These guys would play
days?
for like days.
Settle
to
down.
He
Settle
lined that one
down.
up
Yeah.
real good. He's like, "Oh, here's my
I
opportunity."
felt the noose tighten.
Day.
I was like,
So
here we go. Just bait him in. Bait him in. That's okay. That's crazy though. I didn't know it was like such a
It was huge, man.
widespread thing. I thought it was like occasionally they'd, fight.
No, it was like to settle like disputes, man. Like nations would come together and play
also-
each other in lacrosse.
I also heard the word hockey actually came from like a word First Nations would actually yell
Really?
when they were like if you get slashed or something like
Really?
that. I
I've
don't
never
know.
heard of
Did I
that.
hear that, or was that lacrosse's beginning? I don't know.
Yeah,
'Cause I was always like, why is it called hockey? Like, because
Yeah,
like
I
football,
wonder.
you have like a ball,
Yeah,
That you
Soccer.
don't interact with your foot very much.
right?
Yeah, exactly.
Both so, like European style football, right? And then
Sure.
there's then like American football, but then like baseball, you steal. There's bases,
Yeah,
and like why is it hockey? There's no hawk.
no,
There's no key.
it's very confusing.
What does it say there? Did you look it up, C-Mart?
No, I would just casually.
We were waiting for some information to come up.
goddamn.
glancing at.
So we were looking at you for a little.
C-Mart,
for
that was
some
perfect
information.
fucking timing.
It was. So what's the verdict, Steve?
Yeah, C-Mart.
Nothing? Okay.
TBD so far.
Quit looking up Nightcore.
Shout out Nightcore.
That's so funny. Before the show started, we were talking about this fucking YouTube channel I was watching. I was like, dude, I was watching this late live music channel, and I was like, I didn't know what it fucking was on YouTube, but it was like everything was sped up. And then all the names of the people in the chat were all like, it was like Vampire's Kiss. And, like, and it was all like Damien's Hilt.
Damien's Hill classic. He'd be on there. all the
C-Mart was
time.
like, was it Vampire? Like VAMPYR? I'm like, you bet it was.
You bet it
It's
was.
Fucking Vampire.
What else would it be? There's no
I like this
amateurs.
facial expression here.
What's this? Can people at home see this right now? Mm-hmm. What is it?
Oh, it's like lacrosse. It's like a painting.
Is that original
lacrosse
lacrosse? Can you
players.
see that? Did it?
No, I can't.
Tilt your head around there.
Just like that face.
Oh, crazy. Well, look at that.
Yeah, man, there
People
was
watching
intense,
at
man.
They
Damn.
just called them ball players. Just
Damn.
The ball players.
Just
Is
playing
that
with
what
It
it
is
balls
called
and
ball
stuff.
players.
Oh,
That's the name
no.
of the art.
I'm glad they changed it to lacrosse. Then you know.
Yeah. You want to play ball?
You want a war? Let's play with balls. Like no, like, we need to
wouldn't
come
you
up
rather,
with a
like-
better name
yeah.
than that.
Wouldn't you rather have like the victor win? And,
Yeah.
land the ladies. And it's like, no.
No. Fuck the ladies.
Yeah.
So it looks like there's difference field lacrosse versus box lacrosse.
Oh yeah, man.
What's box lacrosse?
Box lacrosse is literally in like
an
like
arena?
a hockey arena. Yeah.
Oh, I see.
So instead of the ice, they take it off. You
Oh.
got the concrete
Oh, I
floors,
see.
and then you got box lacrosse there. Field lacrosse, exactly what it is. It's out in the
Fair
field.
enough.
Damn. Is
Like
it like
football field like size?
is it open parameters? Yeah, like
Pretty much, you know, you got like out of bounds. Only there's some major differences in box lacrosse. You wear less pads in field lacrosse for like goalies. They
Yeah.
wear like a chest pad and like shoulder pads, and that's it. And they got a big net. And then also in field lacrosse, you get like 6-foot sticks, like really long
Damn.
ones. The
Really?
defenders
Wow.
get really
like
long
actual
ones.
weapons then
Yeah.
at that point.
Oh, when you slash with those things, it's the best.
it always blows me away with lacrosse how like okay, because I'm from Ontario, northwestern Ontario, and there's no lacrosse team. There's no lacrosse team in
That's
Winnipeg.
kinda crazy, actually.
There's
That
no
is
like
kinda
never was exposed to it ever. And then I came out here and people talk about it. But
yeah,
the
man.
weird thing is, how come it's never like it's because it's an old sport. How come it's never hit the next level? Like
I don't know, man. Like they're doing it right now at the NLL.
Yeah.
They're doing like
National Lacrosse League.
Yeah, exactly. But I mean, I don't know why it hasn't. Like in the States, actually, field lacrosse is huge.
Really?
Yeah, it's really big. Like in LA, my brother actually went to Chapman University in Orange County, and field lacrosse out there is massive. Like
That's crazy.
it's do you guys know the store like Nordstrom's?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
He has a friend is like literally his last name's Nordstrom. It's like their kid.
Heir
And,
to the
like,
Nordstrom fortune.
Like
You
straight
mean
up.
like an actual prince.
Oh man, all these kids were like,
Nordstrom.
you know, all these kids were like balling. Like we're in Orange County, and my brother comes there from the res, and he's
Dude,
like,
they're like that's crazy.
it was nuts. But like lacrosse there is like, it's life,
I'm Gerald Smith Nordstrom.
and I love
Yeah,
lacrosse.
the second.
Esquire.
It's huge, man, and it's just growing there, and I don't know why it hasn't like jumped stage wise.
I mean, sports are weird, like in the sense that, like, it's hard to break out.
Oh, yeah.
Like, let's say you had some cool game that you're playing, and like how are you gonna bring that to the mainstream?
Good question.
Then create teams, then create nationalized things. Like
100%.
video
And
games are
invite
doing
sponsors.
it a bit.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
Like,
Because even that, like esports are like
Yeah,
growing
very
at a
big,
faster
yeah.
rate than lacrosse. I
Yeah,
would say.
yeah.
Like,
Oh,
isn't that
Overwatch.
weird? That's
Yeah,
kind
yeah,
of
for
weird,
sure.
right?
It's well because it's so accessible too. You know,
For
almost
sure.
everybody if they don't play a game, they're kind of curious. Like
Well,
you
you
either
also-
hate it or you're kind of curious.
You also don't need
Excuse me.
equipment or anything, right? Like if you're just like, oh, look at this new game. It's called Overwatch,
Yeah.
and you can just play it for free
On a TV you
or
already
whatever.
own.
Yeah,
Exactly,
exactly. Like
yeah.
it's,
That
there's
makes
no,
sense.
So
there's no
accessible.
like the parents don't have to buy in.
Right.
Like there's not a lot of
Yeah.
things there, but like
But it could be.
I
a good
can't
point.
imagine bringing a sport, honest to goodness, physical sport to
Like
market
brand
now
new?
would be very, very hard.
Well, that's what I'm thinking. Like, I think the last one to actually break through and be successful would be MMA.
Yeah, I think so.
Oh, yeah.
I think that's true.
That's
Because,
actually
like-
an excellent example.
And look what they had to do. Like, they used that. They weren't even allowed
From
on
the
pay per view.
beginnings, yeah.
Well, they're banned from New York beyond like
like,
it was like
2 years
human
ago,
cockfighting.
Well, it
Yeah.
was vicious, man.
But,
But
like-
the only thing you couldn't do was like
We can't
was it
fish
called?
hook.
Couldn't
I
fish
got-
hook?
I
well,
think that's overinflated.
yeah. I mean, you still, yeah, like you couldn't fish hook and you couldn't eye gouge. And
Well,
you couldn't
also
do-
no small jaw manipulation,
That's right,
no hair
individual.
pulling.
That's right.
Well, I thought you could pull hair.
No.
No.
In the original ones?
The original. No, I think that's one of the first rules that they put in right away.
You can't, but what you could do is directly strike the groin of a man repeatedly until he tapped out, which
Yeah.
happened
That's
a lot.
Allegedly.
Oh
Yeah.
my god.
But like,
The small joints, I find it's funny. Like, if you want to learn how to be successful in a fight, just looking at the rules of MMA is a good example, like a good laundry list of things that you should do in a fight.
To
Just like,
survive
hey,
this,
yeah.
eye gouge.
Break
Fish
their
hook.
fingers immediately or their toes, because that is a fucking savage thing.
dude, if you punch, that's the thing. Like, if you punch someone's open hand, like if Day just wound up and punched my open palm like this as hard as he could, that's a broken finger for sure.
Just
like for
ripping,
sure.
like
Oh.
I think it's hard to underestimate, like, if you just
yeah.
grab someone's
Oh,
finger and rip it to the side.
You're triggering
that
Just
is-
took a
you're triggering
violent-
some victim of a bookie out there.
I'm
right
just
now
saying, like,
so bad.
that
It's
is
just
like In MMA, not allowed.
Yeah.
In real life, do it immediately.
Yeah,
do it right away.
Step one, break his finger.
Yeah, exactly. Get some fingers broken because that's going to eliminate their ability to fucking fuck with you.
Have you ever watched Boss Ruden's street fighting documentary?
Oh, he's an open hand guy though.
He's so good. He punches with the like the top of your wrist basically,
Yeah.
but like open palm. So it's like the bottom of your palm basically.
That's
and he's just
dangerous, though.
you gotta imagine like that fucking kills.
Oh, yeah.
Right?
It's full bone connection. At
Yeah.
that point,
If you
right?
miss and you hit the top part of your
Yeah,
hand,
don't miss.
there goes your hand.
But he does these things where
You got to be a Boss Ruden.
You're gonna
to
be
do that.
origami.
This
though.
one doesn't really service our audio listeners, but basically he'll stand arms crossed in front of the person, but he'll have one hand up and he'll be inquisitive like and as he's talking, I don't want to hit the mic here, but he'll like he's like but his elbow that's on the outside of his arms crossed, he'll just like kaboof, like just the speed he does it, like he just hits you. You're like okay, that makes me just fucking terrified of every street fight ever because like it just go wrong. Like what? Why are you doing 12 years for manslaughter? You're like, I elbowed a man after watching Boss Ruden's documentary.
I think certain
Thanks,
like
boss.
Boss Ruden is he Dutch?
He is from Holland. Yeah.
So like, there's a certain savagery. I don't know what it is with Dutch fighters.
Yeah.
Like Overeem is similar. Boss Ruden, I can't name them now, but like something about being Dutch, which is gross generalization, spoilers, like is like inflicting pain on your opponent, like where it's mean. I love the one of the few things you can do in MMA to this day is the foot stomps.
Yeah,
the foot stomps, and like that is a fucking first class ticket to broken foot.
Oh yeah,
and yet it is a legal move,
class.
and it's pretty easy, well, quote unquote easy to do.
Oh yeah,
but then I love like these Dutch fighters. They love the liver shots. They love the foot stomps. Every edge. They just
kick the
knee.
They
want to hurt you.
They're
going to win, but they want to hurt you.
Yeah.
I have a question actually that just came up from what C-Mart was saying. I have a question for you, Dave.
Yeah.
So, you're half black, half First Nations.
Yeah.
Okay. So previously, like I don't know, 40 something maybe episodes ago, maybe 50 or so, I had some feedback on an episode from a listener.
Yeah.
Because C-Mart and I were talking about we kept saying we are talking about Boss Ruden right now, and we're like, that was fucking crazy. Yeah, dude, that was ruthless. I was like, yeah, it was fucking savage. And I was like, yeah, I was like, dude, the savage level, that was fucking insane.
Here it goes.
And then this listener hit us back with like, yo, just so you know, I had a really difficult time listening to that.
Wow.
And I was like, why? They're like, well, savage is like a very offensive word to me. And this person, I've actually known them for a long time, and they're First Nations, and I love them. They're awesome. But like this person got back to us, and I was like, I had no idea that it like was even like because if I was calling someone a First Nation, I was like, you're a fucking savage.
Yeah.
That's ruthless.
Yeah.
That is not
Unacceptable.
That's very unacceptable. But in the context I was saying it, I was just like, have you seen this punishing combat sport?
I
move?
use the word too.
Right. So what are your feelings on that?
Honestly, like I use the word so often, like, and I never really. I feel like growing up, half First Nations, half Black, you get called shit like that, like even 10 times worse, consistently all the time. So for me, I've just kind of grown a thicker skin. Yeah. When it comes to things like that nowadays, like it doesn't even faze me, kind of thing.
I'm curious about that answer because there's like,
does it register though?
Yeah, like that's what I mean.
Yeah.
Like,
oh yeah, absolutely.
Really?
You know, like a little bit, like savage, not really.
Because you don't associate it with like
not at all.
Skin color.
No, not at all.
It's like action.
It is an action, or like something crazy that's happened, you know, and it's like, oh my god,
like that was. I would be like, what'd you do last night? I got fucking savage on Jack Daniels again.
But I mean, to me, like you could put savage to any culture back then that was murdering to eat, you know, like murdering to do things, and it was like
Like
the Vikings were. That's exactly what I was thinking. Vikings were savage,
fucking
man.
savage. I don't see a lot of like Nordic dudes being like,
Yeah.
that's pretty offensive.
That's what I mean.
Well,
Like,
they're also white.
yeah.
Oh,
I mean, you
Priv.
No, I'm just
Wait, privy.
right.
Fair enough. But then you go to movies like, Dances with Wolves or something when they were calling Indians savages, and like then though I didn't really watch those movies all in depth. I was a kid then, and
Sure.
it never registered. The N word was the biggest word for me. That
Of course.
that I didn't even know why it hurt me. Like I had no idea.
Can I ask you about that? Can I
Yeah,
ask
absolutely, man.
Can I ask, because you're biracial, can I ask what it felt like for you growing up in two different environments like that? Because like you basically got to spend time on both sides, right?
Yeah.
So what would you? Okay, this is a good way to put it. Which of the two did you feel were more accommodating? Was there a difference?
Definitely, because growing up in LA, there's a ton of black people out there, but they're not like your family. That's
Right, of course. No.
all my African American family lives in Alabama, and I've only been there once, and I was a baby. I don't remember really any of them. I still stay in touch with my grandparents, some of my aunts and uncles, but like I don't even remember seeing them in person.
Right.
So coming back here to Canada with my native cousins and friends, like they welcome me with open arms. Like I'm considered native here, you know what I mean? Like
it's not even
I'm exactly like I may not look it, but like through and through I grew up First Nations, on the res. I feel like most of my life LA was a musical sidetrack, a sports sidetrack, and then I come back home and then it's culture, you get hit with culture and family and love, and it's an unbelievable feeling, man, and I wouldn't trade it for anything. The First Nations culture is so beautiful. And I grew up a lot in like the Longhouse and stuff too, dancing like First Nations masks, and I loved doing that as a kid, and getting to know that side of the culture was amazing. And then you hit high school, and then you get sidetracked with what's going on there, and you're trying to get laid 24/7.
Skirt chasing?
Exactly.
Allegedly. Totally.
And then you lose that side, but
Sure.
I want to get back in touch with that, but you just got to handle business first before you can really indulge fully, and I feel like give it my all in that sense,
Dude, I appreciate you sharing that with us, because like there are different perspectives you can gain from someone, but like that's something everyone can relate to, and and like how you're perceived culturally, especially in this era. Does it seem like to you that compared to, I mean, like you're a young guy, we're relatively the same. I'm like 33 now, but you're 27, 28, right? Guess we're about 5 years out from each other, right?
Happy birthday.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Yeah. Oh, thanks, C-Mart. Happy belated to you. Like, I was like a month ago.
He said recently.
You were there, by the way.
He said recently.
Yeah. I was gonna say, like, within that though, the time frame of that, like, I feel like late 90s, people were way more concerned about being an individual, and like your actual culture didn't really define you. It wasn't about being black or First Nations or white or whatever. It was like, it was about being who are you, because you are an individual and you represent your own individual thoughts, your own patterns of speech. Everything was your own. And then I feel like it's weirdly regressed back into like really segmented, like it's not as cultural melting pot as it was.
I don't agree, actually.
What
I feel like lately we're starting to all be separated. I think the whole thing that's happening in America.
That's
right
what
now.
I mean. Like, it's not.
It's more
culturally
divisive now, but I don't. That doesn't mean it didn't exist before. It just wasn't talked about.
But you don't
Like, I think
wait,
it was just like, it was just so predominantly just like white that like no one was mentioning it, and now it's finally being discussed, despite it always having had existed. I think. I mean,
it's brought more into light.
Yeah.
I think it's
But, like,
now we're
are we
talking about it.
better off?
Thankfully,
Right?
yes. I think it's like it's way more important that
But
we
there's no
understand.
solutions yet.
That's what I mean. I'm rolling with what Day is saying. Like when I say are we better off, I mean like I don't really see a solution right now, which I just see a lot of problems. I'm the kind of guy that like if I bring up a problem, I'll generally give a solution or suggest one at least. I just feel like there's a lot of discussion right now, but it's really just causing more and more divide. Like I
100%.
want to see, like, the best thing about the civil rights movement in the 60s was just afterwards, it seems like historically that a lot of the like group identities faded away because it became more about the individual. It was more about like how you individually are perceived by your actions, because it shouldn't be these blanket statements of people that are just culturally, you know, like, oh, of course you think that, you're blank. Like, exactly. What? How about like you're an individual with your own thoughts and individual upbringing? Like, doesn't that speak more to like how you think more? You know what I mean? Like, your character should represent who you are more than your skin color. I think that's inherently racist. I think
it's awesome when you realize something like that too. Like, for me, growing up on like the reserve, you see a lot of bad things that are going on, bad shit that's happening, and it's your choice whether you want to follow that or think you have no other way out or explore out there. Yeah. Like, I still, to this day, I never really loved hanging out on the reserve all the time, just because I had cousins that were into some shit.
Dude, it's wild.
It gets really fucked sometimes, you know, and it's like, I don't want to live like this, you know? So then I turn to getting to know other people. Like, I always saw like my Caucasian, my white friends doing like crazy stuff, going on boats, you know, and doing cool things. And I'm like, what is this life, you know? Like, what's going on?
Just to underline
like,
this whole
thing.
You know? Like, they're like on a boat, right?
That's like, why are you on a, I just swim in the water. You floating on it. You know what I mean? Like, so I was like, you know, then I explore all avenues, you know, and then
going on the water, not
straight
just,
up.
You know,
and I'm not falling in it. You
and
know?
I
like,
live by it. You're like, okay,
100%. Like, I saw, you know, everybody doing cool things, and I was
funny.
like, all my cousins here are stuck in this area, and me, like, it's my choice whether I want to explore outside it.
Yeah.
And
that's it. Yeah,
it brought me to like so many different things, so many styles of music. Like, I love different styles of rock music. Absolutely. And like a lot of people are curious because I have it all on my phone. I'll be playing it in my car.
What do you like?
I'd say probably one of my favorite bands is Billy Talent.
No shit.
Oh, nice.
Yeah,
Really?
I'm a big Billy Talent fan.
Were you sad to see the farewell?
Absolutely. I tried to go to the show when they had it here recently. Unfortunately, I couldn't. But
I haven't thought about Billy Talent in a long time,
dude. I still listen to it every day.
When Try Honesty
when
Try Honesty hit as a single, I remember being like, This doesn't sound like anything.
Yeah,
I heard, because like that dude, I don't even know his name. The lead.
I don't remember. I don't know.
His name was Billy.
His name is Billy.
His last name was Talent.
He's got talent.
Yo, you guys know Billy from Billy Talent? Shittiest
Which
fucking
one's Billy?
Analysis ever. But, like, the lead singer's voice was so unique,
so good, and they had good lyrics, and it was like catchy, and like one of the first songs I ever heard of them was River Below.
Oh, yo.
On the river below, I'm running from the inferno. I was like, I remember going to sleep at nights and like just leaving like much music on or something. Yeah. And then that video would come on. It's like, just the guitar riffs that they had on there.
The bass line of that is fucking sick.
His name is Ben, by the way.
Ben. Shout out Ben.
Shout out Ben.
Well, I can't even pronounce it.
You don't have to. Shout out Ben.
Shout out Ben from Billy Talent. You have mad crazy vocals.
And like, I loved like Sum 41, Blink 182. Just because like my best friend in elementary
like
growing
pop
up.
Punk.
Oh, 100%.
Nice. That's
you should roll out us to the shows. We are juiced in with like
you guys are
every fucking punk band doing it.
Well,
right
like
now,
I've always been interested in hearing kind of what's going on. My best friend, like I said, growing up, he was an Irish kid, and the way we connected, I used to sing all the time.
Those Mick bastards, you can't trust them. You can't.
Hey, now.
No, come on.
His whole family was crazy, but they all were in bands. You know, they played instruments. Sure. And I would go over to their house, and they'd like be playing the Beatles and all these things, and each of them played guitar and drums, and like there was like 6 of them, and I fell in love with that kind of music at that time. Nice. And then now he's in like a metal band.
Do you play?
Yeah, do you play an instrument?
I've taught myself a bit of the acoustic guitar just because I like to sing, and I'm trying to do like a touch of that. I used to play piano a lot when I was a kid.
Oh yeah.
now I don't know really shit about it.
I'm sure you.
If I sit down, I can have fun with it.
You sit with me for 5 minutes. I'll get you. I'll be like,
re-pick it up. Honestly,
this?
I would love to learn to play again because I loved instruments. That's what it was.
Yeah.
Sports instruments. I played tenor saxophone for a little bit.
Oh yeah. Okay.
Saxophone was something I really wanted to be, and then drumming was just always fun.
No kidding. Yeah, dude. Big fan.
Yeah, man.
It's good.
Yeah,
I just love. That's what I did. It went from band to choir. I used to do like choir when I was a kid, just for a little bit.
Yeah.
I joined the choir to meet some girls. Didn't meet any girls, and but I did get yelled at immediately.
Oh, did you?
Because they're just like, it's in C or something.
yeah.
Like, they just got really upset with me because I was only there to meet
girls.
And because it was an early morning choir.
Yeah. I ended up being Cats.
That tree hits a good note.
Mr. Mistopheles. I'm like, all right. Jeez. I was in choir too. I know.
You were?
Well, I failed grade 10 math twice, so
Allegedly.
I
Good
ended up
times.
having to go back for a fucking credit.
Oh.
And so I took like 7 electives basically, just kind of like that's what Joe McNeely was
Yeah.
saying the other day. But I ended up just taking like in the morning I would take like grade 9, 10, 11 vocals. So my whole
Really?
morning would just be vocals, and then all afternoon I'd just take like grade 10, 11, 12 guitar.
Wow.
And I was like, well,
That's pretty
I
cool.
just stacked music credits because I only had one. I had shitty math.
Was
class.
it like summer
Dude,
school?
Yeah, and I'd be like, I'd just roll into grade 10. I looked like fucking.
Yeah, you're like 38 years
Yeah,
old. Like,
Dude, just by the way, and I was like 19, so I'd come.
You're dating the teacher.
I would see, I would see the teachers at the bar and then go into school. Like it was the weirdest fucking thing. It was, so by the time I got to college, I'm like, I'm used to this shit. Like,
Yeah. Sweet. Welcome home.
it's funny as fuck. Day, man. Time flies when you're killing it, and this has been such a complete episode right from the top.
Appreciate it.
Can I quickly do an ad for our excellent listeners out there?
Absolutely.
I would love for you to pay
Some
attention to this.
excellent listeners.
Yeah,
Oh yeah.
There's one out there that we don't like.
that's right. Shout out to you. No,
I
they're all
I
awesome.
see you watching.
Actually, I love every single one of them. Everyone's so cool. But I just want to shout this out real quick. Day, because you confided in me earlier that you actually don't know what floating is.
No idea.
I would humbly request your attention if you would.
I'm in.
Ladies and gentlemen, if you want to hear about an amazing opportunity, I suggest you go ahead and click your browsers on your phone or home computers. Simply go down and click floathouse.ca. Don't click it, type it, floathouse.ca. What is floathouse.ca? Well, it's simply the greatest isolation tank experience you can have in the Lower Mainland. What the fuck does that mean to you? You're like, what's an isolation tank? Well,
What's an isolation
Jayde,
tank?
let me tell you right now. First of all, it is simply the best way you can spend 90 minutes with your life. Yeah, that's right. You know what it is? You basically sit in a tank completely devoid of all light, sound, and touch.
Really?
It's amazing. The only thing you have
Isolation.
is yourself.
I was just about to say yourself.
Yourself. And it's amazing. And in addition to what we're saying here, one of the best parts about it is you get to experience the tranquility and the calmness of the universe all within yourself. It's really awesome. And it's actually so unique because you can unlock the mysteries of your mind.
Oh my God, that's what I needed.
Right? Or you could just enjoy the tranquility and the calmness and the serenity. Just be calm and peaceful. It's cool. It's good for all walks of life. I really highly recommend it. And one of the best parts on top of that is the very friendly and knowledgeable staff. It's amazing. All the Float House locations.
You met them already.
There's
I
several
did.
of them.
They
Would
were
you agree that they're nice?
Oh my! As soon as I walked in here, I felt like someone, like one of those trust falls. I feel like they all went
And like a team
like I was like,
very
I don't know
welcoming.
you guys, but I'm gonna turn around and fall.
Yeah.
One of you guys is gonna
Yeah.
catch me.
This is a concrete floor, so I hope you catch me.
Yeah.
They would
Otherwise,
have. They
I
would
could
have
be
caught you.
severely
That's what I
injured.
mean.
Yeah.
Like I felt immediately, it was the place
It's
to
amazing.
be. It was really true.
So good. And right now, if you go to floathouse.ca and use our podcast promo code II you get yourself 20% off your next float. What is that podcast promo code, C-Mart?
Lowercase I podcast.
Goddamn right it is. II podcast. Get you 20% off your next float. I float. You should float. Day-Day's gonna float. C-Mart, you're
We
gonna
got
lo-
it.
Yeah.
We got it.
You're gonna love it. We float. Make sure you go ahead and check out floathouse.ca. Oh, and little sidebar. I'll make the 10 seconds of this. VancouverCryotherapy.ca.
Oh, yeah.
Inside Float House Gastown.
Yeah,
You
it's a
guys
whole
will
other
fucking love it.
level of
Shout out to
experience.
our boy Jay. He's honestly killing it. Every time he posts someone else that's here, and then the stuff he tells us outside, I'm just like, who's using it? He's like, what? I'm like, I can't even say, but like, I'm just saying the amount of people that are using this and the recognizable factor of it is unfucking
The recovery,
real.
something that he was saying before that I thought was interesting was that just that like the recovery time.
Oh, it's insane.
Of like if you're like
It's so
into
quick.
like high
Really?
impact kind of like
Oh, yeah.
sports or whatever that is.
Yeah.
Like doing the cryotherapy stuff. Like it
changes
unusual.
everything.
It's
do it.
unusual
Yeah.
how
And it looks
much.
intense.
When I tried it, it was I literally did it, got dressed, and within a minute came in here and did the podcast, and I was flying in energy. Just, whoa! Like
I was pretty sure that like I was like, "Where's the Coke? I would like to get in."
I was just like wild.
What do you have?
Yeah. I was
Send it my
just
way.
boom. I felt really great, but yeah, man. If you guys want more information on that, we did an excellent episode with Jay from Cryotherapy. I forget the number right now, but it's easy to search. Just look that up. It's JAI.
100 and something probably.
Yeah, it's JAI, by the way, if you guys want to check that out. But yeah, dude, it's rad as fuck. Day, how can people follow you if they're so inclined?
Oh man, well they could hit me up on Instagram at Daydreams12, Facebook Desmond Pack is my name. Follow me. Music's my game.
P-A-C-K?
Yeah,
P-A-C-K. No D on the end of Desmond. Thanks,
Oh
Dad.
yeah,
That's right.
Yeah, I just got on the tweeting game. I don't know my Twitter name. So
really?
Look for me.
the real Donald Trump.
That's a first, absolutely, for the show. Like someone's like, "Yo, I'm on Twitter. Don't know my name."
I don't know who I am yet. Look me up.
GBD.
I follow MD. I'm on his follow.
That's hilarious.
so
You follow me, and I'm like, "What is it?" I don't know.
I can tell you. I'm sure it has my name somewhere in there. So
God, I'm gonna look this up while I talk about this. But ladies and gentlemen, if you're so inclined, you can also follow us on intergalacticinterviews.com. We're very easily able to be searched. We're on iTunes and YouTube and Stitcher, SoundCloud. Not only that, but we're also available on about a dozen illegal Russian downloading sites. So shout out to that, people.
look for them all.
We love you guys, and if you enjoyed this show, if it's your first time listening, and you're probably wondering what the fuck is the show ending, well, it may be. Yeah, but at the same
Why are you so indecisive? It may be.
well, I'm trying to give pause for like because it sounds so final. What I'm allowed to be fucking medium about this. I'm feeling a certain.
You're gonna
type of
delete
way.
this. You're gonna delete.
Yeah, you're gonna do this in an hour. Yeah, I'm in my feelings about it. Basically, I just wanted you guys to know that like even though that is happening, one of the best ways you can show support for us is if not like we love subscribers, but if you want to leave us a review of the show, that's like 100 subscribers to us because that shows us that you really listen and care, and man, that means more to us than anything. You can do that on iTunes, YouTube, whatever. Just follow along. We love it. We appreciate you guys listening. As always, major gratitude. Shout out Holy Sock Gang. Holy.
Yes.
All fucking day, son. Day. Brother, I appreciate you coming to do this, man.
Appreciate you, man.
I know that you did this on what I call short notice, but was apparently set up already, so that's funny. That being said, C-Mart, how do people follow you?
Not a thing.
Excellent. And
Thanks, C-Mart.
And the way we're going to go through this is I'm going to let you all know that we'll see you all next week. Thank you very much. Bye.